This week on the Jock and Nerd podcast, we've got a spoiler review of Venom, Let There Be Carnage, and episode 8 of Marvel's What If, the one where Ultron wins. One of these Marvel things is better than the other. Which one? Find out in this edition of the Jock and Nerd Weekly for Monday, October 4th, 2021.
Oh, hi, I didn't hear you come in. This is Ross Marquand from The Walking Dead, and you're listening to the Jock and Nerd podcast. Now, if somebody could please explain to me what a geek boner is, my life would be complete. Until then, rock on, nation.
Check one. All right, this is for all you fans out there. Let's give it up. Jock it, we nerd it. We funny, disturb it. We jock it, we nerd it. We spoiler alert. Oh yeah!
What's up, listener? How's it going? Welcome to the Jock and Nerd podcast, where we give you comic book and superhero TV and movie news, reviews, and whatever we choose. Jock and Nerd. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the Jock.
And he's the nerd.
And joining us is our very own parasitic organism that turns out is the smartest one out of all of us. It's Rug Boy. What's up, Rugs?
Hello, Emmy. That's my Venom. Is that good?
It's not bad. Do Tony Soprano Venom. What would that sound like?
Hey, fucking Eddie. You can listen to me? You got fucking wax for ears, motherfucker.
Which symbiote ate all the gabagool?
Hey, wait the gabagool.
Be more funny.
Oh, shit.
Anyways.
What is he always looking for? He's looking for the gabagool. He's looking for the superside.
The superset, little mozzarella.
Yeah, who's got the provolone? Who's hiding the provolone?
I want to check in with Anthony before we get started, because I don't know if you guys noticed today, for a large part of the day, Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp was down.
Oh, shit.
Oh, my God. Anthony, how'd you fare? Were you okay? Did you survive?
It was actually very healthy for me.
Oh,
to
yeah?
not have to look. Yeah, I noticed Instagram. I thought it was just me, and then someone texted me and goes, "Your Instagram down?" And then that's when I realized more than one person had it down.
Big outage.
Yeah, but I guess I didn't think that was possible.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. The world was talking about
You know, it's big when, like, the national news is like, Instagram, Facebook down for 6 hours. Mark Zuckerberg.
But Twitter worked.
Twitter is fine. It's not owned by Facebook. Zuckerberg probably shit in a brick. I love to see that. Sometimes.
Why was it down?
I don't know. I don't know. Was it hacked? Was it a bug? Did somebody...
Yeah, to make it completely down was interesting.
For like hours,
Yeah.
like 6+ hours. I don't think that's ever happened before.
Zoomers were jumping out the window.
I know. I was concerned for all the Instagram influencers out there.
They're like, I don't know what to do. I had no one to influence me.
I'm not influencing people right now. I'm not making any ad revenue. What do I do?
Floppy John.
Everything's fine. Everybody
I even
relax.
had a like in 20 minutes.
Yeah, they were jonesing. People are jonesing. This is what happens. It's like a Black Mirror fucking episode. In real life. Anyways, we have a lot of fun things to review. Let's get into it.
The Jock and Nerd podcast.
We're going to review 2 Marvel things. Let's start with Disney Marvel on the small screen. We are at season 1, episode 8, the penultimate episode of What If on Disney Plus. Marvel's What If. Here are
The ultimate peen episode.
the ultimate peen episode. Here's your spoilers.
Strap yourselves in, you fucks. Spoiler time.
This one titled "What If Ultron Won?"
He would shut down Facebook and Instagram instantly.
I think
we saw it.
I think Ultron won today. He got his. He's finally like, peace on the internet. Nobody's trolling me. I'm not getting any likes.
Well, he has to get Twitter if he wants to do that.
Ultron,
That's where it
yeah.
all starts.
Nobody pays attention to Twitter. It's like Midgard and Heimdall. They don't care. It's Facebook. Voice cast for this one, you have kind of half of the people and half of the not people, but largely, you know, the main 2 guys are Natasha and Clint. So you got Jeremy Renner and you got Lake Bell returning as Natasha. She does a great job. I love the Lake Bell, but also Benneswatch Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange, Toby Jones as Arnim Zola, Ross Marquand voicing Ultron, man of many voices. Now I got to play the Ross Marquand intro for this show. Josh Keaton returning as Steve Rogers, Mick Wingert returning as Tony Stark, Alexandra Daniels, Carol Danvers. And so that's about it. Those people are the replacements. Anthony, the title does tell it all, but tell us some more. What happens? What's the setup in this one?
Ultron wins. No,
Ultron wins.
He gets his body into his vision, and those Avengers never are able to, capture Vision and take that away from Ultron and put Jarvis into him. So if Ultron were able to make Vision and transfer his consciousness into Vision, he would have won.
Yeah, he gets the Mind Stone.
Because he gets the Mind Stone.
So it's like a reworking of Age of what we saw in Age of Ultron.
And then this storyline is more closer to the Age of Ultron from the comics, where Ultron wins, everyone's kind of killed, and people are in hiding. It looks in this one, Black Widow and Hawkeye are the last of the Avengers, and Ultron's not only conquering Earth, but becoming aware of other planets and then eventually other universes, and it gets pretty nuts.
Oh, it gets crazy. So, quick overall thoughts before we dive in. I love what you mentioned. This reminded me of the Age of Ultron comic and how it starts as like you're in this timeline where Ultron won and everything's fucked up. But this is an episode that had me going,
Oh, shit.
The fuck?
like out loud several times. I thought the pacing was great, and I was like, "Holy shit, this is what we were waiting for!" And I thought it was well worth it. What do you guys think overall?
Well, I was amused by this episode. I found it to be a true what if. I found it to be a what ify.
Very what ify, yes.
Yeah, it was like, okay, this is a good. You take something that we all experienced in Age of Ultron, where they were able to. They fumbled the ball and they recovered it and got Ultron and to kind of like be in a weakened state and be able to overpower him. And this one, he gets the Mind Stone, and it really shows like the fact that whole programming that he has to try and solve the world's problem by eradicating the problem, which is us, or people in general, or just sentient life, is the way to do it. But then I also thought it was kind of fun that like, he ends up doing it and then gets bored.
Yep. That's great.
So it was cool. Like as extensionally, it's like, okay, what if you get what you want, then what? Then what?
Yeah.
So it's interesting. I thought it had a little bit to chew on, more than other episodes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this was a fun concept. It wasn't like, I keep harping back on the first, but it wasn't like a minor change where you sub one character for another, but it was like, he won. So then what happens, as Ruggs mentioned, there is this existential conversation of him being bored. First, he, decides to go after other planets. It's fun to see the concept of him with all the stones. It's nice to see him dust Thanos by just lasering him in half.
That's great, too.
They have a lot of fun with killing Iron Man and the way they killed Thanos. And then it's interesting to see how he gets the stones, and then it makes him aware of other universes, and the whole stuff with him chasing the Watcher was fun. So yeah, it was good, and it sounds like, or it looked like, these what ifs. We already kind of knew this, but these what ifs aren't just standalones. They're obviously building towards something, and it looks like they're building towards this, which is stopping Ultron from destroying the multiverse. Now that he's aware of it, because he was bored, and now he's found purpose again.
I did feel a little cheated, though, because I wanted him to tangle with Beyonder and Galactus.
Oh, shit. Yeah, there's a little nod to Galactus Beyonder. Man, I don't know when they're bringing that in. We already got, you got He Who Remains and Kang, and, where does Beyonder fit in all this, And the Celestials are coming. But in the cartoon, you could have done it. I do like that it's not redoing a movie. It's, completely new shit, which is what I wanted from the What If. So it hits the nail on the head there.
Are they still not going into that stuff? Have they dipped into the new stuff yet that they acquired from Fox? No, or they haven't.
Not really.
Because Galactus would be one thing that they reclaimed.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything from the Fantastic Four properties yet.
Yeah, they had the Ultron Galactus there, but
right. Oh yeah.
They had that call out to Galactus where he was as big as the plane, he ate the planet.
I mean, they could have thrown in a little Silver Surfer flying around. They could have thrown in a lot of crazy shit.
They're not going to introduce this shit like willy-nilly, I
No,
guess.
I don't think they're not using it because it's not been introduced into the mainstream MCU, so they're going to stay away from that. I feel in these things up until then.
But neither is Kang. Like, why?
Oh,
Or neither
shit.
is any character.
And Kang may have been a Fox property with Fantastic Four. I
I
don't know.
believe he was.
Ooh.
Well, no, I think they got to share Kang.
Oh,
Because Kang is technically a FF. He's more of actually an Avengers villain.
well,
than
that's
the
true.
FF.
That's true.
Although he is very close to the FF too, because he's the descendant of Reed Richards.
Right? Yeah, Nathaniel Richards from the future, from the past.
It was similar to the Skrull situation.
Oh, that's right. Because there was, but now they own all that shit. They could start throwing it in.
Right now, it doesn't matter.
Anyways, before we break down the episode, there's a couple of fun parts I want to call out. Listener, you want to join the conversation? You want to meet other like-minded jocks and nerds who love all this shit? There's a place to go. It's not down anymore. It's our Facebook group. Was down earlier. And Blake Braden was jonesing. He's like, I can't post stupid things to the Facebook group. I was like, it's okay, Blake. But that's where
It'll be all right.
it'll be all right. But that's where you will meet all of our fun, awesome listeners. We're in there. And you want to join because sometimes I post special things just for our Facebook group. For example,
Dudes.
sometimes there's
Oh, God.
nudes.
Oh shit.
I wouldn't call those special.
Is it of me?
I think they're very special.
Is it of somebody else? You got to join to find out. No, earlier today. So I got this email from the marketing people who are marketing the Dune movie. You know, Denis Villeneuve's Dune. And they set us up a little landing page to get free passes for an advanced screening to Dune for our Chicago area listeners.
Oh shit. Talking nerd.
Wow.
So I'll give you the URL. It'll be in the show notes. The Facebook group got a couple of days head start. Here's the deal. You've seen these screenings, right? You sign up. You can get, their passes are free. Admission is first come, first serve. It will be on Thursday, October 14th in downtown Chicago at the, hold on, I had it up here.
I can't get in on this.
Sorry for anybody who doesn't live in the Chicagoland area. It's at
Damn it.
It's Showplace Icon at Roosevelt Collection on
yeah.
Delano
I've
Court.
been to that.
Yeah, downtown Chicago. October 14th, 7 p.m. And they were nice enough to set us a little landing page. It is at wbtickets.com/Dune Jock and Nerd Pod. And you'll see our little logo there. It says we're a screening partner. I don't know how all this happened. I just responded to an email. And the girl's like, here you go. Here's the link. Get your listeners some free passes. It's fantastic. Check it out. So you got some time to get free passes to Dune, which will be on HBO Max and in theaters October 22nd. And we'll probably review that. Right, fellas? What else is coming?
Sure. I'm
why not?
jonesing to see that movie.
Absolutely. Okay. Back to the what if. Okay. I love the beginning where it starts in this apocalyptic world where Ultron has won and everything's fucked up, and Natasha and Clint are the only ones apparently still around to fight Ultron bots. Great action scene. You notice a couple of things about these versions of these people. Hawkeye has a robot arm, and he's got an invisibility cloak.
Right.
Cool things. But I guess both like Stark Tech and like Quinjet cloaking technology. But I love that opening scene, and turns out they're in Russia looking for the secrets to take down Ultron. And this is where the Watcher explains what happened, that Tony created Ultron, and Ultron wanted to kill everybody. This is all Tony Stark's fault, of course. And in this timeline, he gets his wish that they don't get the cradle. He gets into Vision's body, kills everyone, fires all the nukes like in that movie War Games, only for real. And Tony Stark dies again.
Oh shit.
This is like the fourth or fifth time.
Oh, yeah, they like killing him in this.
Well, could it be that Tony Stark's death, somebody else commented on this, is that an absolute point in time? Like
He always dies?
Yeah, like he always has to die. Just like, what was the other absolute point in time?
Well,
Doctor Strange,
his girl.
dying.
Right.
So maybe Tony Stark always has to die somehow.
Well, yeah. I mean, he has to die, yeah. But I think there's a difference. His girl had to die, or Doctor Strange's girl had to die at that moment in that universe. She always had to die that day.
Right.
You're just saying Tony Stark has to die at some point. That's
yeah,
not
it's not
fucking-
the same time. That's true.
All rich white dudes have to die at some point.
I agree. Elon Musk, fucking Bezos, take care of yourself. Look at it. Go into space.
Look over your shoulder, my friends.
They're out in space. They don't know what's going on. What'd you think of Vision with Ultron's voice? Kind of weird.
Well, it makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, if Jarvis never got uploaded into Vision, he wouldn't talk like that. So yeah, it was a little different, but made sense.
This is what would have happened. So Nat and Clint only survived the nukes because they're in the air watching everything fucking get blown up. And then, you mentioned the hilarious bit where Ultron's standing there and Thanos portals in and he's got the gauntlet and he's got 5 of the stones. And what does Ultron just? He just goes, interesting. And then just
Something like interesting.
fucking lasers him in half.
Oh, shit.
Wow, that
It's like,
movie ended really quickly.
Done.
Yeah. Infinity War would not be a long movie.
So they nerfed Scarlet Witch in this one.
She's dead. Everybody's dead.
She's
Yeah,
like
she's
the
dead.
other super powerful person in the universe.
Yeah, they nerfed
right?
Thanos
So
also.
that can
Yeah.
fuck up reality and do all that stuff, and that did nothing.
Why didn't Vision just laser fucking Thanos in the movie? I don't know.
Yeah,
Well,
Yeah.
Because I saw, that's a good point. But I thought about it. This Vision was not just a robot. He had like Jarvis,
Right.
and he had Tony Stark's brainwaves
yeah.
and Bruce Banner. So he was much more conflicted. Even in Civil War, he misses and hits War Machine because he's thinking about he was distracted by Scarlet Witch.
Oh, right.
Whereas if Vision actually was just Ultron the whole time,
He's a straight up killer.
yeah, well, he's got no hesitancy.
Yeah.
He's just he's just focused on the mission. It's not like he has human emotion going through him.
No, you're right. The Vision's first instinct wouldn't be just, let me just laser this fucker in half. Like, that's not how his brain works.
Well, and also in Infinity War, if you remember, Vision wasn't working correctly because he got stabbed through the chest with that blade right in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, he was injured the whole time.
Right.
So anyways, now Ultron has all the Infinity Stones and he can see everything. And he says the line that we hear him say in Age of Ultron that he's going to bring about peace in our time. But this time, not just on Earth, on every corner of the universe. And you watch him proceed to destroy fucking Asgard, the Sovereign, Sakaar, where Korg's there. He fucking nukes Ego, the whole planet.
The Sovereign is where the Guardians.
That's where the
were there.
Guardians were, and they go down. You see them.
The Grandmaster, you see go down.
Grandmaster
on
goes down in a
Sakaar.
flash on Sakaar. So everyone you see, everybody die. And then he's on Xandar, where the Nova Corps are from, and he's about to fucking put the smackdown on that planet when Captain Marvel shows up out of nowhere and just slams into him, calls him Skynet, another great. I love this kind of Terminator reference. She goes, "What's up, Skynet?" She goes, "I've seen the Killer Robot movie and it didn't need a sequel." And I'm like, you didn't see T2? Carol Danvers? Was that what she was talking about? She's like, it doesn't need a sequel. It's better.
No, she was. I think she was already gone by then.
She was gone. Or I kind of feel like it's also a jab at like all the sequels of that movie that came out after T2.
could be.
Right?
Could be, yeah.
Subtly. So she plunges him into the core of fucking Xandar, and she's apparently super strong, but not strong enough because he has all the Infinity Stones. Boom, Xandar's gone. She's gone.
Oh, shit.
She gone. She's dead. And now we get to that great bit where his mission is complete. He's like, there's peace, and he's fucking bored. And he starts to hear the Watcher's narration talking about how now he's become aware and he can see everything and freaks the Watcher out. And that was the first I was like,
shit.
oh my God, he just saw him. He could hear him. This is not good. I love that his whole kind of realm with the prism worlds and the little windows and how like this is where you see every multiverse from this little corridor. That's fucking cool. Back on the planet, Nat and Clint are in the KGB looking for files. They're looking for files for Armin Zola so they can infect Ultron, take him down. And the Watcher, this part's great because the Watcher's around and he's so frustrated. He's almost about to fucking intervene because the Ultron is about to fight him. And he's like, shit, it's right there. It's right there. And they eventually find it.
Well, Clint is looking for it and he's about to give up.
He's like,
Nat
this was my box. Are you kidding me?
Does that sound like a sound plan? Like Armin Zola is going to be the thing that takes down Ultron? Is that,
her rationale was like, we need an analog solution because he's in every digital server. So Zola is just like a copy on this one computer. He's not networked anywhere. I don't know. But wouldn't you think Ultron would just take over Zola,
Yeah.
the older code.
Yeah.
Right.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So they need Zola's help. Meantime, Ultron fucking smashes through to the Watcher's realm and sees all the universes and just like licks his lips. He's like, "Oh shit, look at this."
If he had lips.
That's right.
He's got synthetic lips because he's in Vision.
He's got the Vision lips, so he can lick his android lips.
He can lick it.
But he's basically like, "Oh shit, I gotta kill all these universes. I'm not done." Meanwhile, the Nat and Clint get to Siberia. They find the computer. Zola is on. It's the last copy of Zola, and we find out Clint's middle name is Francis, which is great.
Why is that great?
I don't know. It's hilarious. I don't know. Clint Francis Barton. I don't think we ever knew that before. I don't know why it's great. It's just funny that his name is Francis.
You'll be sorry, Pee Wee Herman.
What's your middle name, Imran? Is it like 7 names?
No, I think it's Ali. I don't know.
You don't know your middle name?
I never use the full. It's like 4 names.
His middle name is Danger.
Danger.
I told you had like 3 or 4 names.
Yeah, I think we discussed there's like 4 names.
Ali Akbar.
Yeah, there's like a pre-name Syed Imran Ali. Nanjani. Oh, I wish you're related. Cousin Kumail. So good to see you. Okay, so their plan is to get Ultron injected into an Ultron bot so that, get Zola, who's in an arrow now, shoot him into an Ultron bot. He's going to upload himself, connect to the hive mind, shut down Ultron. Sounds like a good plan. Doesn't exactly work. Nice Easter egg. You see Natasha has the red Guardian shield as they're fighting off Ultron bots with Clint. And Zola can they get him into an Ultron bot? He cannot connect to the hive mind. Very curious. This escape scene was great. They are being chased up the same shaft that we saw in Winter Soldier, right?
Manscaped. Oh, no.
Manscaped shaft? Yes.
Yes, Winter Soldier. Not Winter Soldier, Civil War.
Civil War, yes. The scene where they're with the little platforms. So that's a great Easter egg. And then as they're trying to make their way out, a whole buttload of Ultron bots are right on their tail. And in a reverse of the Endgame scene when they're trying to get the Soul Stone, Clint sacrifices himself, letting go as Natasha's trying to hang on. And it's that badass scene. It's slow-mo. He turns around, he fires a fucking explodey arrow, and they slow it down, and the light is fantastic. I love that. He
never
shot.
runs out of arrows.
No, he does it. He has an arrow for everything, and they're always stocked. So Natasha and Ultron do survive. Clint dies. And Zola realizes Ultron is not in our fucking universe.
Oh, shit.
This is why I cannot connect to the hive mind. Where's Ultron? He is with the Watcher, fighting the Watcher through multi-universes and hair rugs. You know, I love the Kirby crackle. Did you notice that?
That's right. Yeah, I saw the crackle.
Kirby, you know what the Kirby crackle is, Anthony?
Is it similar to Snap, Crackle, and Pop?
It's one of the Rice Krispie treats. No.
Yes.
It's one of the elves that makes Keebler cookies.
That's what I thought it was.
Kirby Crackle is a language Jack Kirby invented, visual language, way back in the 60s when he was doing all these cosmic books of basically black circles in groupings, different sizes, and it represents like dark matter, the universe. So you see them use these black circle energy things. That's the Kirby Crackle. I love that. I love that little detail. Did you also notice this? A scene where he's fighting, they're smashing through multiverse after multiverse, different universes. One of them is fucking Darth Vader's home planet.
Oh, shit.
It's absolutely Mustafar. You see a river of lava. You see Darth Vader's fucking castle, the pointy castle.
Oh, I missed that.
In the background.
I think I saw that, or someone pointed that out.
That's crazy. That's like the first combining of Star Wars and Marvel in this crazy fucking thing. Holy shit. And then I love this also. Watcher levels up with a gold suit. And you see him actually fucking use his powers and do some cool shit.
It's morphin' time.
Yeah, finally. He's not just sitting around watching. And then Ultron, as they're fighting, Ultron pulls a Galactus, eats a universe real quick, all giant. That was fun.
My favorite part of the Watcher fight is that the Watcher uses his Gigunda head to headbutt Ultron.
He should be using his head more. It's giant. How does he just not fall over?
Yeah, how does his neck barrel that way?
Right? He's so top heavy.
He's like a pop figure.
He is like a living pop figure. But I'm glad he got a suit. He got to fucking shoots some shit out of his fucking gauntlets and shit. And then they land in a timeline where on the big screen, Steve Rogers is being sworn in as president. And Ultron, I love this. He accuses the Watcher. He's like, all you did is watch. Isn't this more fun and less creepy to actually do something? So he pretty much calls Watcher a creep, which he kind of is.
Yeah, he is a little bit of a creep.
He just stands by watching, not interfering.
And masturbating.
So, what else would you do if you had to take care of the multiverse and no one could see you? There's a lot of downtime.
Oh,
That's
shit.
where he gets the Kirby crackle.
That's where the Kirby... Jesus Christ, that's pretty good. The Kirby crackle gets very crackly with some lube.
There'll be a lot of white circles.
Yeah.
I stick it up my asshole.
And then that's what happens.
Oh, the first of how many times are you going to play that one?
I'm going to keep it to one right now. There may be
Okay.
another time I play it. It may come up later. Okay, so then finally they're fighting.
He's already planning to use it.
I have it programmed out in my head. Watcher, Ultron's about to fucking just kill Watcher, and he breaks free and he fucks off and runs because he's not going to be able to beat him. Where does he end up? And Ultron's like, run, whatever. I'll find you. I can see everything now. Where does he end up? He's in the fucking little tiny pocket dimension, Doctor Strange Supreme, made for himself at the end of the Doctor Strange episode. And some more great lines. He has to break his own oath, and Strange is like, I want to hear you say the words. Say it. And he's like, I need your help. And now they're going to have to build this Guardians of the fucking multiverse.
Geek boner.
That was crazy.
Right. Well, the thing is we just watched the Loki series where the Infinity Stones are meaningless in the multiverse.
Yes, this was my question.
And for some reason,
why did these stones work
Well,
in
actually,
between
so-
universes?
I think this does actually make sense. So in Loki, they're in. I don't think they're in a actual multiverse. I think they're in a pocket dimension
Where the TVA is.
where the TVA is. Whereas here, they're in different multiverses, and we've seen in Avengers in Endgame, they took the stones from different points in time,
Right.
and moved them to their new, this new dimension they were creating, or this new part of the multiverse they were creating. So you do see it work in other points in time or other multiverses, other branch realities. You just don't see it work in Loki in the pocket universe that the TVA was at.
You know what? I'll allow that. Where the TVA is, clearly they don't work, and where the void at the end of time, it's probably not going to work.
The question I actually had though,
Yeah.
so it looked obviously all these episodes are now are all interrelated. Unless there's more than one Uatu the Watcher, the end of the last episode doesn't make sense.
That was the other thing. When did that scene happen, or does it now never happen? It doesn't make any sense.
Because to recap,
Yes.
at the end of the Thor Party Thor
You're
episode,
absolutely right. Yeah.
he's like Thor, or he's like Thor and Jane are going to live happily ever after. And then he's like, wait a minute, what? I didn't notice this.
Yeah.
And you see Ultron come into that universe.
This Ultron already made with the Infinity Stones.
Right. So unless it's another dimension or another
there's only
part of it.
one Uatu.
Right. Unless it's a different Watcher, but I think it's all the same Uatu, and I think he's only watching, unless that's the thing. That's a little other thing I'm confused by. I thought Uatu was only supposed to watch our universe, and the other Watchers were supposed to watch other universes.
Oh, that's also a good point.
But then clearly this Uatu can watch every universe
Well,
at the same
like
time.
He Who Remains was also watching all the
He paid
universes.
extra for the multi-universe package.
I see. It's a
You know?
bundle. It's like the triple
no,
A.
no, it's not a bundle. It's
Yeah.
old school. He got a black box.
Oh,
and he's watching
he
everything.
hacked it. Yes.
He's
He
watching it all
fucking
on
hacked it.
pay-per-view for free.
Yes. He's got rabbit ears and a hacked card in his
I
satellite
feel like
dish.
most of our listeners have owned a black box at one time.
That would give you everything, right? And it was
give
just,
you all the channels and the pay-per-views though. You
and
get
like
for free.
a shady guy would show up and you'd give him cash and it would just
Right.
be coaxial cable into the box.
Right.
I remember those.
You could all the new movies that came out. You didn't have to wait to go to Blockbuster because they go on pay-per-view first.
But then eventually, wouldn't the box, they would fry the box and you'd have to get another one? There was a way they could send a signal.
You never had the black box forever.
Right.
You had a nice little pocket in time where you were watching all that shit and all the softcore stuff too.
Dude, these old hippies at work, they were running the scam where they had, how the satellite TV has these cards that you put into the satellite box, so they would like reformat the card or get hack cards and put them in and get free service or something. I don't know. It was really crazy, but where there's a will, there's got to be a way to pirate.
Oh, there's so many more ways now with the internet.
That's true.
So
Yeah,
I think it's easier now.
This was like 10 years ago.
Right.
Anyways, yeah, Uatu hacked the fucking multiverse, and one guy is responsible for watching everything. Like that's
God does the same thing, right?
Does he though? Sometimes he misses things.
Well, I always saw in the
He just
comics
doesn't
there
give
were
a shit.
multiple watchers.
I really don't
watching
give a
everything.
shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
multiple for each.
You know, when you
universe.
play that clip of him saying that,
sounds
I don't
just
know
like
if it's a
him.
clip.
I know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can't tell.
That's how good our sound quality is. That's all. It means it's good sound quality.
But yeah, the last episode doesn't make any sense. They have to explain what's going on there.
Do you think they will? I don't know. How do you explain that? I was like that's very confusing. When did that happen? Or are they just going to like move on and just dismiss it?
They've
They've
it's such a
explained
big plot hole.
No, and like what? Yeah, they've
We
explained
literally
things.
just saw Uatu interact with Ultron through multiple universes, but the prior episode, he had no idea that he was even showing up.
Yeah. Did that happen later? It couldn't. It makes no sense. Yeah,
Makes
I
no
couldn't. It
sense.
made my head hurt.
There's a lot of hand waving going on in the Marvel universe.
Made
Where they say,
my head
look
hurt.
past
Yeah.
this, and we're just gonna go over here now.
Yeah, but overall, this was a fucking solid episode. Like it had me the whole time.
It was fun to watch.
Yeah, and I am hyped
Geek boner.
for the finale, the building. I thought he would at least gather the individuals this episode, but no, he's gonna have to go and get everyone, and they're gonna have to resolve this whole fucking thing in 30 minutes. Will it happen? I don't know.
It'll be a MacGuffin.
I did enjoy the episode overall. The plot hole or what happened at the end, it's still obviously confusing. I hope they explain that because it will really sour me on it if they're not able to explain what just happened there. But I am excited to see them take the characters from different episodes and potentially put them in a team to save the multiverse. So, and I like Ultron as the maybe the big bad of this episode or this series because he was kind of underutilized in his own movie. So
That's right.
And I love that the show has given us Killmonger back. It's given us another a badder ass Ultron and all these versions of these villains, except for Thanos. They went the other way and completely nerfed him in like both episodes.
well, they nerfed him in one, and then they made him like silly in the other one.
They made him a dad. He was like the dad of the neighborhood, hanging out.
What was his whole thing? He kept saying, he's like, oh, but it's efficient.
Oh yes, that's genocide. No,
yeah,
it's
nope.
efficient.
It's just efficient.
He was like a suburban dad,
He was.
just hanging out, taking care of his daughter. So
Well, next to Ultron, he seems like a nice guy.
yeah, really, Jesus, this Ultron is frightening. So I don't know if this gets resolved. Okay, maybe they can bring Ultron back in live action in some way after this. That would be kind of cool.
I'd like to see a more realized form of Ultron at some point.
Well, in the Marvel universe, the Ultron, they always stamp him out, but he always finds a way to come back.
Yep. Because he's code. He can always hide somewhere and rebuild.
It makes sense, actually, that he would always come back.
Yeah.
Imagine he was like, he stuck himself in a Tamagotchi.
Yeah,
or
he's
something,
just like an old Game Boy from like the late 80s, early
Tamagotchi.
90s.
just hiding out. He's like, I just got my kid this like digital pet from a fucking garage sale, and then it starts to tell the kid. It's like starts to like tell the kid what to do.
Kill
and
your
the kid
parents.
yeah.
I remember wanting to buy a Tamagotchi so bad. Then I got a Tamagotchi.
Yeah.
During the day, it was great. Like
Yeah.
I, let him sleep.
Yeah.
Gave him food.
Yeah.
Played with him. Then I then I went to sleep. And that fucking thing was waking me up.
Oh, yeah,
like,
it's got to go out. It's got to eat. It's a baby.
2 hours. Yeah, they got to eat, and I was like, "This is fucking bullshit." I never played with it again. I took the fucking battery out of it. I was like, "I'm not playing with this goddamn thing."
And that's when
Buyer's remorse.
That's when Anthony realized I will never have children.
Knowingly.
Knowingly.
Fuck that.
Willingly. Not just, I thought Ross Marquand did a pretty good James Spader also.
I thought so as well.
He's
got a talent at doing voices.
He is good. He did Hugo Weaving as Red Skull. He's good at the voices. Absolutely.
It's not as good as Anthony, but he's
Anthony
getting
can
there.
do all the voices.
I can do all.
You could have done Ultron.
I could have.
Listener, check out our TeePublic shop. We got a lot of great swag, T-shirts, mugs, tote bags, pillows, all with our logo, new logo, old logo. You get Rug Boy's face on your face and chest. There's face masks, always sales going on. It's at jockandnerd.com/shop.
Jock and Nerd.
Go there and buy. See, that sounded like the soundboard. That was Anthony. That's how good he is.
Yeah.
Go there, buy some shit, send us a photo. We're going to take a break here, play some promos. Oh, and we're going to talk about Venom and Carnage and a bunch of other things after this.
Yes.
It's going to be phenomenal.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Check out what's been going on with the Pop Culture Cosmos Show and the PCC Multiverse.
That is by far my favorite because it's also character driven and the stakes are high and there's much more of a mystery and intrigue to it.
A game like Wolfenstein, which people are saying are one of the most socially important video games of the past 10 years.
Catch our shows on radio worldwide 7 days a week or at any time on Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or on over 30 more podcast outlets.
Hey, this is Matt.
And Jesse.
We host American Slacker Podcast, your weekly rundown for weird news, entertainment suggestions, and unique games.
Every other week, we bring on guests from all walks of life, like comedian Mark Forward of Letterkenny.
Yeah, we just call it tuna up here. We're pretty clear that it's a fish.
And NYC stand-up powerhouse Ian Fidance.
I want to fucking punch you in the fucking face with positivity and fun, motherfucker.
Actor Brandon Crane of Stephen King's It.
There's a lot of the work that I did, like Wonder Years to It, they were all very, period, 50s, 60s, and, Chucks were all the rage.
And Art the Clown from Terrifier, David Howard Thornton.
They also had to make a mold of my face while I was there, so that was kind of claustrophobic in itself.
Musician Dan Simons of Just Surrender.
First time ever going out on tour, you remember every step.
And Nick Thompson of Hit the Lights.
All the stuff that I think that people go through life, and it's just like my outlet for that.
Watch the video version of American Slacker on our YouTube channel and listen to our show on your favorite podcast app.
New episodes every Wednesday. Visit our website, aspodcast.com, for everything American Slacker.
That's it.
There you go.
Doc and Nerd.
Listener, if you've been enjoying the show, for
Spread the geekery.
Spread the geekery. If you enjoy the show, show your support. Join our fan club. Visit jockandnerd.com/Patreon. Jockandnerd.com. Yahoo. No, don't go to Yahoo. jockandnerd.com/Patreon is where you can support us, and everyone for as little as $3 a month support gets access to a bonus RSS podcast feed. All the shows come out early. Instant reactions come out there. Bonus content. We all put up instant reactions to Venom coming out of the movie. And that's funny. They were all kind of the same. We didn't know.
Were they?
I didn't listen to any one of those.
I listened to all of them. We all kind of, without listening to anybody else, they're all kind of the same. It's great. I love when that happens. So fun stuff like that right out of the theater, instant reactions. Also, Discord benefits for $5 a month and up patrons. You have access to our private Patreon-only Discord server where we're doing monthly hangouts where we just hang out and geek out and share videos, and it's a lot of fun.
We bullshit, drink.
We bullshit, we drink. You get to know us. We get to know you. I like hearing what everybody's listening, what everybody's into. October's hangout will be Thursday, October 21st, 8 p.m. Central. Anthony, write it down.
Okay.
There's a 50-50 chance he may show up, listener. So
far, it's 33%.
Okay,
chance.
so put your bets in now. I'll let the bookie know. Okay. Thursday, October 21st, 8 p.m. Central. And then there's other fun things like you could force us to watch any movie you want. Sign up, support. We'd love to have your support. We appreciate everyone who has continued to support the show, jockandnerd.com/Patreon. Okay, let's get into the review. The other Marvel thing, this time it's Sony's, what do they call it now? Universe of Spider-Man characters or some bullshit. Sony Spider-Man Marvel Universe something.
I don't know.
I don't know what it's called. Of course, the movie is Venom, Let There Be Carnage, the sequel to 2018's Venom. And here are your spoiler alerts.
Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
Prepare to be spoiled! Of course, Venom originally created, Marvel character created by David Michelini, Todd McFarlane, first appearance, Amazing Spider-Man, issue 299. in 1988, and I fucking bought that issue off the fucking rack.
Oh shit!
I also own that issue
as a kid. I bought it came out when I was buying them when I was young. So it's a good issue. It's a collector's issue. I was a little disappointed that neither David Michelini or Todd McFarlane get cameos in these movies. I think that's a missed opportunity.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? Why wouldn't you put Todd McFarlane in the Venom movie as like a fucking funny cameo? It would be great. Anyways, this movie.
Would anyone recognize him?
The minute he talks, you might hear him because he sounds like Kermit the Frog a little bit.
Oh, does he?
He does a little bit. I don't know. I think the hardcores would recognize. I would recognize him.
I mean, it'd be a nice little.
Like, I wouldn't recognize David Michelini. I don't know what he looks like, but I would recognize Todd McFarlane. He could be like the new Stan Lee cameo. You could just do Todd everywhere. I don't know. The original release date of this movie, you guys, a year ago, October 2020.
Oh shit!
Yes. So hopefully they use the time to brush up on the CGI. Maybe. On Rotten Tomatoes, this movie is at a nice 59%. Critics tomato meter, 5.5 out of 10, 85% audience score. The original rating 30%. So they're going up. Almost
going up.
Almost double. They almost doubled the last one. That's a thing. Budget wise, here's where it gets fucking crazy. This movie was made for $110 million. Now we forgot to do our opening predictions last week. As to, like we usually do, as to what this movie would have made. I'm glad we didn't do it because I think we all would have fucking underbid. This fucking movie opened to $90.1 million.
Oh, shit.
The fuck?
What the fuck? It is the best domestic opening at the box office in the pandemic, besting Black Widow, which opened at $80 million. And it also opened higher than the original Venom when there was no pandemic. That movie also opened at $80 million. Holy shit. The original Venom.
It beat Shang-Chi, right?
It beat Shang-Chi by.
Marvel's pissed right now.
It beat Black Widow.
Well,
and Shang-Chi.
We'll get into that.
Yes, which is a reason maybe why something happens in the movie. So the original Venom movie opened at $80 million. That movie finished 213 domestic, $856 million worldwide. This movie will probably smash those records. It's just what the fuck? $90 million. People really just wanted to see some big dumb shit, I guess. They were just jonesing for it. Cast-wise, this one, not directed by Ruben Fleischer, who did the first one. Andy Serkis, Mocap King. Your fucking Gollum and Caesar and King Kong behind the camera directing. Written by, so the story is by Kelly Marcel and Tom Hardy. And then Kelly Marcel did the screenplay. So Tom Hardy had a hand in this. Tom Hardy, of course, starring as Eddie Brock. You got Woody Harrelson as Cletus. Michelle Williams returning as Anne Weying. Naomi Harris, new to the cast as Frances Barrison. Reed Scott as Dr. Dan Lewis, Anne's boyfriend. And then you have Stephen Graham playing Detective Mulligan. And the wonderful Peggy Lou as Mrs. Chen. Almost steals her scenes in the movie. And then a bunch of other random people. I don't think you got the rapper Little Sims. Anthony, you know Little Sims? You familiar with Little Sims?
Who's that?
It's a famous up and coming rapper. This girl, Little Sims. She was in the movie.
She in the movie? Who's she?
Was in the movie.
She's rapping.
She was in the rave scene. She was rapping.
And Venom takes her microphone.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Little
Gotcha.
Sims apparently. We'll talk a little bit about the soundtrack later because there's some other interesting things. And
Eminem's back.
Yes, Eminem has another track on this Venom soundtrack. And there's a dude who has the best name in acting, Scroobius Pip, as Siegfried. He's like a spoken word artist from England, a poet and a hip hop artist. Scroobius Pip. Actually, I think I've heard him. He's a pretty good rapper. Anyways, there's the fucking cast. Opening thoughts. Who wants to go first? Jesus, this movie, I don't even know where to start. Anthony, go.
Oh, man. This movie's better than the first one.
Okie dokie.
In my opinion. Does that mean it's a good movie? No, this isn't a good movie. This movie is basically... Unlike the first one kind of has a lot of weird plot issues, and this one's pretty bare bones. It's just straight to the point, and their point being they just want to try to make you laugh and look at big dumb shit the entire time. So in that sense, there is a lot of big dumb shit. It is very loud. It gets right to the point. So they accomplish all those goals. It's not that funny, unfortunately. There is some funny stuff, but overall the movie's kind of just silly. So yeah, I mean, the movie's really, we can get into it, but the movie's really only worth watching if you're just a Marvel completist and you want to see what happens after the credits roll.
Yeah.
That's really the only reason this movie is even relevant.
Pretty much a 90-minute setup for a post-credit scene, yes.
Yeah, I mean, other than that, unless you're, as John Campea had mentioned, unless you're like, and he loves this movie, which really makes me question him.
Yeah, he likes this one too.
No, yeah.
So, like, but unless you're like really a big fan of this itineration of how they're playing Venom with Tom Hardy, this is obviously just more of the same. I can't get on board with this. First off, it's not Venom, and the movie just is so stupid. It's just dumb. So you guys can go ahead and we'll get into more of our thoughts.
The only way that this movie is any better than the first one is that it's shorter.
Right.
Like, that's the only thing that's better. I mean, we're getting exactly the same movie for the most part, where Venom has to fight another Venom. The only thing that's different is that they develop Woody Harrelson's character, and that makes it a little bit more interesting. Like, the fact that there's an antagonist with a story and all that stuff, that's another thing that's better than the other movie. But everything else is just either on par or as the other movie. It doesn't really do anything better. Like, maybe some of the stunt sequences are a little bit better. I don't know. Didn't give a shit that much about it. I really don't give a shit. Yeah, it was just like, I was just like, is anybody even trying to make things make sense? Like, I'm like, in one minute, like, Venom is so fucking advanced that he can operate computers, draw perfect pictures of things that he saw, but then in like 2 seconds later, he can't even make food. Like, he's just making a mess everywhere. Like, he's got no coordination and doesn't give a like, I just don't understand like how it's just all over the place. And they don't even care to like rein it in or like even make it make sense, or just pick something. Pick either he sucks at everything and can't do anything, or he can do everything. Like, which is it? Like, I don't understand. So yeah, it was weird. And then the whole thing with the sound.
Yeah,
that was bothering me because Venom and all the symbiotes are sensitive to sound, but yet there's like fucking deafening. I went to see it in Dolby.
Yeah.
So the sound was cranked up to like fucking 4,000, and it was like booming sounds. And then like all of a sudden a little alarm clock would go off, or a fucking little beeper from and then that would make Venom go crazy. But like these fucking deafening gunshots and these deafening explosions do absolutely nothing.
Sound and fire.
Yeah, it was just weird.
Yeah, you know what? I largely agree with everything you guys said. It was, it's marginally better than the first one, like just a little bit. But again, it's silly. It's super light. It's ridiculous. At times you think you're watching a cartoon. A lot of things don't make sense.
That scene in the club is just fucking cringeworthy.
But on the other hand, it has things that are really boring, and then it has things that are kind of fun moments, but there's nothing cohesive there.
Like when he grabs that microphone and makes that speech, I was literally like almost gonna throw my shoe at the screen.
That was amazing.
I was so cringeworthy. I was like, who's the douche who allowed this to be in this movie?
It was Venom's coming out party at the rave, and everyone thought he had a costume. That almost ranks up there with the Tom Hardy sitting in the tank eating lobsters. There really wasn't a quirky scene like that. That one was trying to be like that scene. But okay, so I agree also, the runtime was a plus. It is like super messy. You're in and you're out before you even know what the fuck's going on.
Well, it's a plus. I'll agree it's a plus, but it also is a kind of a minus in that you just run through everything.
Yeah.
Like the movie feels like it's on speed the entire time.
Yes, it's a crack movie.
Yeah.
But it also kind of reminded me of like, the bad like 80s action movies. Like it almost had like a breezy 80s, like it could have had like potential to do something, but it didn't get there.
I don't think I would more compare it to an early 2000s.
Okay.
Just like Venom, it feels like an early 2000s movie, early 2000s superhero movie where they were trying to figure out the tone of each character and how to make it distinct and how to make it palatable for a mainstream audience. So let's just let's just try something.
Right.
And they're just like, we're going to lean into this fact that Venom and Eddie Brock are the odd couple. And we're just going to have them do this whole odd couple bit for 2 movies now. I mean, Sony is so fucking lazy that they copied the outline of their plot for Spider-Man 2 for Sam Raimi and just put it on this.
I was going to say that. Why is this
it's literally
the same movie?
Where the villain is a creation of something that involves the main character. The villain wants to like just have a friend, wants to the Venom, just like Spider-Man's they take off the suit for a little bit.
Gives up his powers
and the suit, like, you know, and then he realizes by the end that he needs the suit and that they're one and the same and they need each other. I was like, what the fuck?
But every second superhero movie,
it's a way worse version of Sam Raimi's movie.
Superman 2 did the same thing, or 3, or like every second movie, the hero always loses their powers at some point and then gets them back.
None of the Marvel.
I guess the
MCU
Marvel
movies.
Still, but before
they don't
in the
do
old
that.
days, the older ones.
Doesn't Thor not be worthy in the second one?
Oh, does he?
No,
he's in the first one.
Pre-MCU. This is what
that's
all
why
the
I'm saying
sequels.
It's an early 2000s movie.
It is the sequel formula. Pre-MCU, what you do? Villain loses powers.
Superman loses his powers in his
always
second
the
movie.
same shit. So I think also this movie should be rated R. They can have a lot more fun. They can. Okay, let's talk about Andy Serkis's directing, because I'll give him credit. I give him a little bit of credit for 2 things, minor things, because I have a huge nitpick with him directing this. The 2 things I'll give him credit for is that he did lean into the wacky more. The scenes where Tom Hardy is talking to Venom, that, you know, he's good with directing mocap and CGI. Give me a whole movie of Venom and Eddie just fucking walking around, going to the DMV, picking up laundry, just doing mundane shit. I'll watch that shit all day, son.
Oh, shit.
Those were the best parts for me. And the CGI, mildly better. Just a tiny bit.
I wouldn't.
But
I don't know if I give credit to Andy Serkis for anything. I don't know. Like, I don't see anything he did to the movie that makes it better or worse. I mean, I think it's just a terrible script.
Yeah.
And it's been edited to like minimize the damage of the fact that there's nothing to this movie.
The script and the dialogue is awful, and I was surprised at how actually faithfully to the tone of the first one this was. I was like, what did Andy Serkis do? Do you think this is just a paycheck movie and he's in and out? Because I don't see his fingerprints anywhere except for those 2 little things I mentioned.
The only thing you can give it credit for is it just, like, the first one is just so bizarre. Like, the plot is so bad. Like, the first one, they have this symbiote killing everyone, yet that symbiote dies, and another symbiote takes 6 months to come to America, and is that actually the main villain? It's like, what? You had a symbiote that was killing everybody in the main plot. Where this one is like a little bit more streamlined, but it's just dumb. It's just a dumb movie. I mean, there's the one scene where I was like, oh my
Let's
God,
talk about
what's
the dumbest
going on
parts.
here?
What's the dumbest parts?
For me, the dumbest part is Woody Harrelson as Carnage has stolen this red car.
Right.
Pulls up to a gas station, knocks the guy out, and then gets on the laptop and and hacks the military base or the U.S. government's base.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there's so many weird things happening here. First off, if you needed to find a computer, would the first place you go be a fucking gas station?
maybe this guy has a laptop in his car.
How does he? Maybe I show up at a gas station and this guy happens to have a laptop. And then, as Rug Boy mentioned earlier, now the Venom powers are just like, they're unexplainable. Like, he can do anything.
He's an amazing
He can literally
artist.
do anything and nothing at the same time.
And Eddie Brock is just horrible at his job, and Venom is an incredible artist, has a great memory.
Well, I mean, the fact that you can hack computers from a laptop at a gas. What are you talking about?
I thought also
here?
when Carnage does it too, he hacks a computer. I was like, oh, they can fucking.
No, that's Carnage. I'm talking about that's Carnage that does
I was
that,
like,
that
oh,
scene.
they can fucking hack computers now. Apparently, that has happened in the comic book. So the comic books are really
but
just
it's
as
still
dumb.
very stupid that he would find a laptop at a gas station.
Yeah, but in the comic books, Venom isn't a buffoon that's wrecking an apartment. Like, that's an added thing that that doesn't make sense.
If you're a fan of the Carnage from the 90s or whatever, like this doesn't translate well from page to screen.
I'll give him credit. He looks like Carnage.
Yeah,
but as you mentioned, it needs to be rated R. I mean, he's a serial killer, and all his weapons are are piercing, stabbing weapons.
Dude, there's no blood.
And he's a psychopath.
How many fucking bloodless decapitations are you going to do? They were biting people's heads off and nothing happened. The body just goes down. There's nothing anywhere. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? This is ridiculous.
Okay, here's actually an example of bad writing. You have a character named Shriek who's in love with, first off, I don't know why Woody Harrelson ages 50 years, but then Shriek still looks exactly the same. But anyways, you have this character that her power is the scream, and you establish right away, that Venom and Carnage are sensitive to sound. Carnage doesn't like this character, right? Yeah. He doesn't like Shriek because of the sound. Yet she factors really in no way. Like, you would have thought, okay, they're building this up so that she has a change of heart and helps Venom.
You could take her out of the whole
That doesn't
movie.
happen at all. Yeah, she did. She's actually pointless, and you don't really need her in the entire
no
movie.
development. And she says mutations. Is she a mutant? I thought it was interesting. She actually said the word mutation.
She should have factored into the main how they take out Carnage.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you're going to establish that she has that power and Carnage hates her.
Yes, she's the one that could actually turn and separate them two. Also, did you notice this is really a weird choice that Andy Serkis made in the flashback to the St. Estes Reform School, where you see the young versions of Cletus and Shriek, but the young guy playing Woody they dubbed Woody's voice over the young guy because, God forbid, he sounds different.
Weird.
We're gonna not understand this. I just like, why are you doing that? A lot of weird choices. Also, if you are allergic to sound, why the fuck do you keep going to churches? What the shit is this? There's bells in churches. That's always not going to work out.
They were getting married, but yeah.
They were getting married, but they always end up... the symbiote is something you kind of wear, or it wears you, it covers you, but it's unclear in this, and with Carnage and Cletus, how much they actually just absorb each other and he becomes Carnage, because they're shooting at him and his body's separating, so there's no Cletus there, but then they separate. It was confusing. I don't know. They didn't. I thought he looked great. At least he was red, and you could tell it was still really dark and muddy. His eyes look fucking cool. I thought the eyes looked a lot better in these.
Yeah, the tentacles were cool, but Venom also has tentacles when he wants, so it's not that different. It's just a little too close. In the comics, it's fine, I think, because there's so much other stuff going on in the comics all the time, and there's like a new fucking comic every month, but you get one every 2 or 3 years, and then that's all you get. It's just weird. You know what I mean? I don't know.
It's also a really tough, like, they made a big mistake in the first movie by having, I believe it's Toxin, right?
No, Toxin is actually
what's the character he fights?
Something. It was with an R.
Riot. So
Riot.
It was a big mistake to make Riot the main villain in the first one, because Riot also looks more like
he's
Venom.
like
He's just
gray.
gray.
You can't tell what's going on.
So then to like have the big build up in the second film be like, oh, Carnage is coming, but Carnage is also just another offshoot of the symbiote. Like, you already saw him fight another symbiote. So,
but he's a red one.
They should. Yeah, he's a red one.
They never explain what a red one is different.
A red
like,
one.
why is it more deadly?
But he calls him father too, so maybe I don't know, because it's red and it's I don't know.
No, well, Carnage calls Venom father.
It is a spawn kind of.
Well, yeah, because he bit him.
It's like a reverse fucking Peter Parker becoming Spider-Man. Is he bites him, and the guy biting him becomes the fucking thing. Right. It's just
I just
weird.
don't like Eddie as a character. That's just another thing that I really like. There's nothing to Eddie that I'm either sympathetic about, admire, or even understand how he even exists. Like, when in the Spider-Man universe, Eddie Brock is a photographer that, or a reporter that works for the Bugle, and there's a dynamic between him and
Peter Parker
and all that other stuff, and that's why he's the perfect person for Venom to go to after he's rejected by Peter Parker.
There's a great duality there, and especially when Peter realizes the Venom symbiote doesn't set his spider sense off. It's fucking frightening, and the stakes are huge.
Right. So in this case,
none of that's there.
So now you have both characters, both Venom and Eddie, are completely weakened, and there's no. I just don't understand this character. I don't understand. Is he a reporter? But if he's a reporter doesn't act like that.
No, he never acts like a reporter.
That's not like
he's
what
just
a
shitty reporter, though. He's just a fuck up. I don't know.
No, I'm with you a lot on this. I'm completely agreement. Like, first off, Venom. This isn't Venom. Spider-Man again is very essential. That character. I've said that a couple times now, but the way that Tom Hardy has chosen to play, or either the script or Tom Hardy, it sounds like Tom Hardy.
A lot of Tom Hardy.
It's chosen to play Eddie. It's just not. It's incongruent with what you think a responsible reporter would be.
Yes.
Like, this is a reporter that
or even
is
somebody
writing,
that would date Michelle Williams.
Yeah.
Right. This is a guy that's writing like front page stuff, and like, but he has a New York like kind of accent in San Francisco. But he's like, you can, like, if you look at that guy, you're like, that guy, I could smell that guy from a mile away. Like, and he is nothing, like, he's nothing redeeming about him. He doesn't want to use his powers to save anyone. He doesn't care to like use the responsibilities that he has.
He
with
stops
this
Venom from eating people mostly.
Well, yeah, but he's also, but it's like, this guy is not like, I don't want him to get the girl. I don't like, I wouldn't want to be that guy's friend. He seems like a horrible like fuck up.
Yeah.
He does. There's the only like redeeming thing is like, I guess he like stops Venom from eating people's heads, but like he just doesn't. That doesn't seem like the type of guy that would have that kind of job and like someone you want to root for.
He stopped Venom from eating Mrs. Chen. That would have been bad.
Like, if I were to write Eddie Brock in this universe, I would have made him a paparazzi. I would make him this like kind of aggressive paparazzi scumbag, but like he profited like a lot from being a scumbag. And then Venom is also like this evil force, but then maybe that having like this big dose of evil force heaped onto him already makes him second guess himself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, whoa, now like I was just a scumbag with a camera, but now I'm a scumbag with this thing that could kill people. You know, and like maybe I should start to fucking get control over my life and stop, you know, and have a moral thing. But there's none of that here. There's just nothing there that like is. And no, this is not the movie for it, maybe because it's a comedy. And you know, remember my rule of comedy is fuck everything that makes sense in comedy because we're gonna go for a laugh, and that's just the cheapest way to do something. But whatever.
Do we think that Topher Grace Eddie Brock is it's more faithful? I think.
Well, I don't know what Sam Raimi was smoking or the executives at Sony were smoking when they allowed that script to go through because there was literally like it was so rushed, that character development. But at least like the underpinnings were there. Like he wanted to work for the Bugle.
He hated Peter and
Peter
Spider-Man.
Parker disgraced him, and then all of a sudden the next minute Peter Parker's ripping off the thing, and he's been. It's just way too convenient. So
let me actually add on to that. I think it would help. I like Ruggs where Ruggs is going with that. I think it also would help if the Venom symbiote, similar to the comics, like okay, Eddie Brock is really down on his luck. He's like kind of angry about the way his life has gone. Like you know, he's been fired from his job. He doesn't get the girl. He's in a shitty situation, even though he's living in like an apartment that's probably like $4,000 a month in San Francisco.
Oh, easily, yeah.
But whatever. I guess I don't know how he's making money, but let's say like because of all these things, and then he gets the Venom symbiote, his like underlying anger that he never deals with comes out through Venom, and he has to deal with like his anger issues as a human. Otherwise, he's never going to be able to control the Venom symbiote when he has it on. Sort of like Hulk. Yeah, sort of like Hulk, but not, not someone that's running away from like the problem. I think he would enjoy like being Venom. Like I think he gets to let out all that anger. He just has to point it in the right direction. Similar, I guess, to Hulk, but he needs to like control, like he can't get too fucking crazy because that means his inner turmoil is, unchecked. So like he has to basically like find that balance of like dealing with his real world shit so that he can deal with being Venom.
I also liked in the comics how he would never like kill innocent people. He would kill people, but only if they deserved it. And he kind of had some. There's
just none of that.
So I can tell you two things about Tom Hardy in this movie is A, he was having a fucking blast playing this character. He does the voice of Venom too. And B, the directors clearly they just let Tom Hardy do whatever the fuck Tom Hardy wants. I don't think anybody is telling him to dial it back.
Do you like Hardy as Eddie Brock?
as this like weird, it's not Eddie Brock, but as this weird character, whatever he is, it's enjoyable to watch him bicker with himself. You know how he shot the scenes where he's talking to himself? He has an earpiece where he has them playing back the lines he recorded so he can answer back. But it's just so funny how in the movie he's just like talking to himself in front of people and nobody says anything, and it's just, it's not weird at all.
I don't like it at all. I don't. I laughed the one time when he walked in and said, "You suck," to the lady.
Yeah.
But to me, it's a guy playing a part. I don't see him immersed as Venom. I see a guy that's just having fun.
He's just having
doing
fun.
a voice.
Yeah, that's kind of what is going on. Okay, let me tell you real quick my favorite parts of the movie. One part I thought was really nice was the animated backstory of Cletus. And you see how fucking crazy he was as a kid. He pushes his mom down. No, he pushes his grandmother down the stairs. He electrifies his mom.
Then they tried to redeem his character by saying he was abused, and that was like some kind of justification.
But that was also, that's from the comics too, though. That's straight from the comics.
Right.
I just like that they used that like little animation.
The animation was different.
Animation was cool. I did like the Venom goes to a rave scene. It was fucking batshit wacky. I wanted it to be even wackier. More wacky. And then the "fuck this guy" was the best line of the evening.
When does he say that again?
So it's at the very end. So I remember at the very end, after the last fight at the fucking church isn't even that great. They kind of fight. He defeats Carnage, and then he eats Carnage. That's also from the comic books. He eats what's remaining of the symbiote, and then Cassidy is like, "We could be friends. We could do this together. Come on." And then he just bites and he goes, "Fuck this guy." And he bites his head off, and there's no blood. That had the biggest laugh in the theater. I got to tell you about my theater experience. First of all, full theater. Holy shit.
Let me get into mine too after you're done.
It was a fucking packed theater. I had two fucking 14-year-old kids sitting next to me, Rugg, similar to your last experience.
Oh, my God.
These fucking kids wouldn't shut the fuck up. During the trailers, during the beginning of the movie. The one kid got up and went to the bathroom like 3 times. I don't even think they were watching the movie, or for the most part. And I was going to say, some people were like, shh, but the movie was so shitty, it was actually a little more entertaining than what was happening on screen. And the kid gets the biggest laugh of the movie. The scene where Michelle Williams is talking dirty to Mrs. Chen when Venom is in Mrs. Chen. And she's like, "Oh, Venom, you big boy, you're going to come out." The kid, I forgot what the kid goes. He goes, "Oh, boy, here we go." And everybody started laughing. That was the biggest laugh of the movie, was this fucking annoying kid next to me. But it is like a movie where you don't really have to pay attention. Like if you were drunk and had a couple of beers, this movie, you'd have a blast. You don't have to pay attention to this movie to enjoy it.
I was very surprised at my Thursday night showing at 8:45 to see a packed theater.
Wow,
I was like,
on Thursday. Wow.
But looking at the box, so this
it made $90 million.
The first movie made $856. In its first run. So there's definitely an audience for this that enjoys it. Not as bad as you, not at all as bad, but we did have maybe a 30-year-old woman next to us that legitimately thought every scene was funny. So she was like laughing at all the jokes, and I was like, some of these jokes are not landing. Why are you laughing?
Oh, no. You know what? The humor, you're absolutely right. None of the jokes landed. Like maybe 1 or 2. And then when we get to the post-credit scene, that was the biggest reaction out of the audience. I was surprised that these jokes were so cringeworthy and bad. None of the humor landed at all.
No. I was in the theater. Was not funny, and nobody laughed. But
not funny.
I was in a theater with a lot of people. It was packed, and a lot of people were not wearing masks.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, whatever, that's cool. But then the movie ended, and the guy next to me said to his girlfriend, "That was awesome." I'm like, okay, all right, we know what we're dealing with here.
What?
Not too bright, So I'm like, this guy should have a fucking symbiote.
This is one of the cases where I think the first one and now this one, it's just, I think there's a disconnect. I think we clearly don't like it, but I think a lot of people do fucking lap this up.
If that first movie made $856, this movie couldn't possibly get close to that and make $1 billion.
Can I use the spoiler right now?
Yeah, here you go.
Spoiler alert.
I think it's very not curious. I think I think because this is the movie that's lapping it up, then people are loving it or loving for whatever reason. I think that is why this they make the MCU tease in this film.
All right, let's just get to the fucking post-credit scene, which again...
Which is really the only reason people should watch this movie. This is the only reason to watch. It's the most interesting thing. It's the only thing I was fucking waiting for. What are you going to do? What's going to happen? You kind of spoiled it for us.
Did I?
I don't know. Well, not spoil it, but you were like, "There's going to be an MCU tie."
I know. Well, they were, but I don't know. I didn't know anything. I was just speculating. It's what I wanted, and I got what I wanted. So the movie ends with Eddie and Venom on the run as fugitives. They end up, I thought it was great. They're relaxing on the beach, just hanging out, look at the sunset. That's a lot like the comic book too, where he thought he killed Spider-Man. He ended up hanging up on the beach. So the post-credit scene starts. He's watching a telenovela. He's in a shitty Mexican hotel room, I guess, because they're in Mexico. Really crappy hotel room. Venom is talking to Eddie, and he says something like 80 billion light years of hive mind knowledge, Eddie. It would blow your mind. And he's about to show Eddie a little bit of this hive mind Venom universe, the Venom homeworld. And at that moment, there is the screen on the TV starts to flicker. There is a gold light bathing the screen. It flashes gold. The whole fucking room changes like in WandaVision to a really nice hotel resort room with a folded swan towel that freaks Venom out. He's like, what is that? It's a towel. And then what's on the screen is the fucking J. Jonah Jameson. J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson telling the world Peter Parker is Spider-Man, and Venom sees the picture of Tom Holland in the Spider-Man suit with his mask off, and he just goes, "That guy," and licks the fucking screen.
Oh, shit.
For no explicable reason.
Well, first of all, why does he recognize him? And second of all, holy shit, Venom is in the fucking MCU?
Geek boner.
What the fuck?
It's curious that they say hive mind, and then all of a sudden they phase into this thing. So maybe in some multiverse somewhere, Venom recognizes this Spider-Man.
Well, they also say, when he says that, they say universes, hive mind across universes. Is it possible that the thing that Venom was trying to do triggered this, and this happens at the same time where Doctor Strange does the spell? It sucks him in and disturbs things, and the symbiotes can actually exist through the multiverse. I don't know how else.
Well, okay, so if Topher Grace Venom
that Venom
exists,
still counts. Yes.
So he knows what Spider-Man is. He recognizes the Spider-Man.
So then the hive mind would know.
Oh, shit.
So when he sees the suit, maybe he recognizes the suit.
Because all the symbiotes share a collective knowledge.
I don't know. See, it kind of cheapens the whole fucking thing for me.
Yeah.
Because I think one of the great things about Venom is that Spider-Man goes and gets the suit from Secret Wars.
Yes.
And then they have a bond.
Bonds to him, yes.
And everything is spider related and spider designed because of Spider-Man.
The symbiote is a scorned lover, essentially, to Peter Parker.
So everything is related to Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like Venom, the way he looks, the way he has the eyes white like that. And now they just made it like there's an alien race that all looks like that for no apparent reason.
And they don't even like climb walls like Spider-Man. They were just like grappling. There's no webs. It's weird.
But now there seems to be some kind of big connection to Spider-Man. And like, okay.
Did you notice when that scene when Anne was falling, they kind of did like a Gwen Stacy thing where it's a reflection in his eye and she's falling. There was a lot of nods to like the Sony Spider-Man universe. Anthony, what are your thoughts on this fucking credit scene?
Oh man. I mean, do I even want this Venom in the MCU? My initial thought was no. Like I don't really want. I don't want these Venom films to be canon to what, you know. We have our criticisms of the MCU, but I generally really enjoy the MCU. I think they've done a really good job overall, and like these Venom films are not even fucking close. Like these Venom films are clearly the worst if you're going to include these now in canon.
Yeah.
And secondly, as Ruggs mentioned, like there's no like people want to see Venom and Tom Holland together, but there's no real connection there. Like, what can you imagine? Like, again, Tom Hardy's character, Eddie Brock. Can you imagine that guy, like, having anything to do with a 17-year-old Peter Parker? Like, those two characters, the way they're portrayed right now,
yeah,
they don't give a fuck about each other. Those guys don't care about each other. And then, thirdly, tonally, like the version of the way the tone is of these Venom films does not match anything. Marvel can be jokey, but this not at all a match. Like there's so many incongruent things that are trying to mismatch together.
Yeah,
like what the fuck?
This could be messy. I'll tell you what they have in common. Both now, this Tom Holland, this Eddie are both like on the run. They're fugitives. They're trying to hide. Everybody knows this shit. Everybody's trying to get. They may connect. There's going to be a team up. I think Venom is going to show up in Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Of course, that's. But I'm saying, like,
it
can you imagine
work.
those two guys together on screen? Right? Like the way they've portrayed both of those characters, and the way it ends with Venom like licking the screen. It's like, why?
You got like this milquetoast Disney Spider-Man and this just wacky fucking bizarre Venom over here. This is going to be interesting.
And again, like there's no connection there. Like that, unless the Topher Grace thing, I guess I could see. But
that's how he knows. That has to be how he knows. Venom hive mind. That Venom exists. This Venom exists.
There's a Venom hive mind that can reach across universes. Then
that's got to be it.
But then that's a whole thing. Is the whole reason why Venom is special, or Peter Parker is special to Venom, is because of their bond. And when you have a million Venoms out there in the universe, like, why would that particular Venom from a different universe even give a fuck? Like, I don't get it. I just don't get it.
Like, and again, they're making like the symbiote like extremely powerful, because the line he says is like, basically, I can show you what 80 million light years of multiverse knowledge is, and like if I showed it to you all at once, it would explode your brain. So like, again, with like the hacking of the systems and all that, like I haven't read a ton of symbiote comics. Like I haven't read like everything, but are they that powerful? Like that they can fucking jump multiverses and do all these weird tricks and like
probably because the state of comics is such garbage now that they just literally do anything and nothing matters anymore. But and even probably in the 90s, the writing was terrible. I was saying that in my instant review. I'm like, the comics in the 90s were so terrible. We shouldn't be making movies about them.
No, you're absolutely right. Those books were so over the top and like just you can't translate that. It worked only at the time, in the moment. Yes, and then. But it very quickly burned itself out because it was the same shit.
Like the same people who tell me that, like, oh, comics now are better than ever and then the 90s suck, are the same people that are like, I love this movie. I'm like, okay, like, do you understand? It doesn't make any sense.
Okay, so wait, let's go back to business-wise. What do we think about this move? They saw how Venom, the first one made a lot of money. This one's going to make a lot of money.
I think the Venom is a popular character, whether we like it or not. He was popular before the movies. It seems like he's more popular now, which is insane, because this is not Venom. But I think this is more Sony eventually pulling Tom Holland out of the MCU and putting him into their Spider-Verse. So I don't think we're going to see like Venom and Morbius and all those characters show up. I think we're only going to see them maybe in No Way Home, but I don't think you'll see Venom in like a Shang-Chi or a Captain America. Like, I don't think we're going to see that interaction.
Okay, but we might see Venom join like that Sinister Six they're setting up possibly in the Sony side. So yeah, this Tom Holland deal is going to expire, you know, and I wonder how Feige felt about doing all this. And is it a concession, you know, letting them do this, or is he trying to sweeten the deal like, hey, maybe who needs Spider-Man more at this point? I don't know. He probably doesn't need Spider-Man.
Yeah, I think overall Marvel's Kevin Feige's, you know, MCU, Marvel Studios, I think they've got so many projects on their plate that they're like, we don't need, you know, we've run our course with Tom Holland, Spider-Man. We've got Shang-Chi, Eternals, you know, you name it. They've got X-Men eventually, Fantastic Four.
There's an article out there that the lady says that the Marvel is currently working on 31 projects.
Oh shit!
And that's including everything we know that's coming. And then more to 31.
Well,
they're working on 31.
And if you think about it business-wise, they can continue to invest in Spider-Man and make Sony money, and they take a little bit.
Right.
Or they can continue to invest in the characters they have the full rights to and just pocket all that money.
Oh, Tom Holland is going back to Sony. They're going to fucking take him. We're done with him.
Look at the cachet that that the Spider-Man universe has. Like, this piece of shit movie is
$90 million
breaking records now.
Unbelievable.
Right? So there is a lot of value to these characters, and just the name recognition and, you know, the fact that they are main villains in Spider-Man's, you know, rogues gallery. It does bring in the asses to the seats, and people are interested in these characters. So I don't know if Kevin Feige doesn't want to deal with it. It's out of his hands.
Yeah.
And now,
he can't finagle this.
And what Sony wants to do
forever.
is going to get so messy that he'd probably, if I was him, I'd be like, you know what, you could just do your thing. This is fucking messy over here.
No, but that's Sony's plan.
Yeah.
Say's plan is like, they still have something that's a gold mine. So they're not going to like letting it go. Yeah. They let Marvel like kind of put a little bit of shine on it to get the interest back, because Amazing Spider-Man, you know, wasn't to everyone's liking, because, you know, that whole second movie was just dog shit. And so they like, okay, you can spit shine this and get this back up and everybody will like it again, and then we'll fucking take the reins from here.
It's a good plan.
And so that's what they're doing. Yeah.
It's, I mean, for Sony, it was good. It's a good. It's obviously working, right? With the Venom movies, they're making dog shit Venom movies that are making a ton of money. Into the Spider-Verse was good. I think that did really well, and they clearly, as much as, you know, a lot of people are, as much as generally this podcast doesn't like Tom Holland, it seems like a lot of people really love Tom Holland as Spider-Man. So if they can get him back,
yeah,
you know, now they have their little Spider-Verse that they always wanted, and they let Marvel kind of grease the wheels a little bit for them.
Oh my God, maybe then Spider-Man can have some edge then, finally, if it's just Sony. Maybe they'll let him punch some people, actually.
But do you like their version? I mean, this Venom is their version of Edge right now.
I know.
That's not a great version of Edge.
See, like, this is the thing with Venom, and I think the reason why it's popular is, number one, it's ancillary to Spider-Man, so it has all of that cachet, but it also, Sony likes to make fun movies.
Yeah.
It was a little cringeworthy where they had to have this like announcement in the fucking club that was just like very, very heavy handed and ridiculous. But for the most part, they're just trying to have fun and make a fun movie, even though it makes no sense and is stupid. And, so I think people will want to have fun. My desire to have fun always comes in hand with, you know, wanting to be impressed with good writing and good storytelling and good characters. But for some people, they just want to see shit fucking explode and loud sounds and CGI, you know, vomiting all over the screen. So, you know, I forgot what my point was, but the thing is that Sony can just do this for however much they want with Spider-Man, and they don't have to worry about it. They're just going to keep printing money. So
Sony is so hit or miss that it could be something great when Tom Holland gets over there, or it could be a complete disaster. I don't know until they fucking do it. It could go either way.
Ron, do you think you'll see Venom and stuff other than No Way Home?
No.
You know, with Marvel, I'm saying.
No. There's no reason for him to be anywhere else.
Yeah.
So, like, Tom Holland's going to go over to Sony, right?
Yeah.
That's everybody's prediction.
Well, no, he's with Sony. You mean join be in No Way Home?
In No Way Home, he's going to end
Tom
up.
Holland. Yeah, you mean I'm sorry. You mean you meant Tom Holland's going to start being like the Spider-Man Sony verse?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
So he's coming over. Everybody's in agreement that that's going to happen.
That's probably what's going to happen in No Way Home.
They're going to do some finagling with this like multiverse to kind of like smash a bunch of things that have already been established, and now there's going to be a new normal. I don't know how that's going to all shake out. It'll be interesting to see what. It's kind of like a weird like Frankenstein. Is going to be the end result of this. It's like you're going to have the popular Spider-Man from the actor. You're going to have this. I don't know what universe they're going to be using. It'll be a new universe where J. Jonah Jameson is bald, and you're going to maybe you'll get William Dafoe in there. Or who knows? Yeah. You have Doc Ock. That's already like all of the things that were home runs. They're going to put back in.
So is the Venom universe the Raimi universe? The newspaper has the Daily Bugle masthead. Also quaint that people still read newspapers in this fucking universe. Who's reading newspapers?
You know, what's interesting too is they're mashing as Rugg said, they're mashing everything together. But a big part of Spider-Man's character is his relationship with his villains. And it's like, well, if you're going to have Tom Holland be the Spider-Man, but yet he's facing off against like Alfred Molina, Doc Ock, and Venom. And, he has no relationship with those villains. It's just like, we hate you because you are a version of a Spider-Man that we hated in our own universe.
Yeah, it's not going to make sense unless they explain that somehow.
They're just evil now for the sake of being evil.
Yeah, it ruins all of the Spider-Man's best villains have a personal connection. That's the beauty of it. Speaking of hating, the character of Detective Mulligan, who shoots her, and then are you supposed to like this guy? Because I hated him and I wanted him to get eaten the whole time. I was rooting for him to get eaten, but he will be. Did you notice that little scene where his eyes glowed after Carnage dropped him?
Yeah, my audience I was sitting there because I didn't know what he's supposed to be. Me and the audience were very confused.
So in the comics, this actually happens. Detective Mulligan shoots Shriek in the eye, same way, and a spawn of Carnage attaches himself to Mulligan, and he becomes Toxin, the symbiote known as. So that's probably going to be in the third movie, where Detective Mulligan is now Toxin, and he's now
no more symbiotes. I'm done with symbiotes.
I mean, what else are you going to do for a Venom movie? It's all about fucking symbiotes. I want to see the symbiotes have a breakdancing competition. I think that would be fantastic. Can we do that? Come on.
Yeah, symbiote stuff.
It was played out in the fucking 90s when there were 17 books about symbiotes, and same thing is going to happen here.
What's not, I guess sad isn't the word, but what's disappointing for me is I obviously grew up in the 90s. I always really liked Venom and Carnage. I thought they were super cool characters. Again, I was a little fucking kid, so I didn't know any better. But to see them realize on screen and to not be happy that I'm seeing them on screen, I was like, it's a big part of my childhood that they're not getting right for me.
I mean, they look okay at least.
They look cool. The 90s animated cartoon had much better versions of both of these characters you can watch on Disney Plus. There's a really good episodes.
Mm-hmm.
We've
gotten 2 itinerations of Venom, and they've both sucked.
You're absolutely right. The other part I did thought was kind of fun was when Venom was jumping from body to body. Like, that's a fun thing you can do because in PG-13 you don't realize everybody he jumps to, they're dead after he fucking leaves, I believe. So he's just
I think they are like Left 4 Dead.
He's just killing people left and right.
Yeah, they can't handle him.
No, yeah, because Tom Hardy was the only match. Remember?
Oh, that's right. Because in the first one they were experimenting and a lot of people were dying.
Yeah, and only Tom Hardy for some reason.
Oh, well, whatever. Tom Hardy because he's a loser.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, and Eddie was a loser. On my planet, I'm a loser, Eddie.
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't matter. Who cares? The less you pay attention to this movie, the more you're going to enjoy it, honestly.
I honestly cannot believe that this is canon to the MCU.
He is in the fucking MCU. That is the fucking craziest.
Oh, shit.
That was crazy. And people were like, oh, shit, it's happening. You know what? This movie didn't even need Carnage. Like, again, take out Carnage. Just show me them hanging out. Just doing shit. I love that. That's what I'll watch.
I made a comment to my friends that was like, I mean, I guess we kind of explained it a little. But at the time when I saw that scene at the end, I was like, they don't even care to explain how he just came over to the MCU. They're just like, we're gonna fuzz the screen a little bit. Oh, now he's here, and it's going. Oh, okay,
maybe
cool.
they'll explain it in the Spider-Man or Doctor Strange movie.
Perhaps
they're leaving it open, but yeah, they just fucking sucked him in. Holy shit!
They literally were just like, okay, we're gonna change the background, and now he's in the MCU.
I thought it would have been the other way around, where Spider-Man would have ended up there, but they did it the other way. So.
It could have been written so much better.
It could have been better. It was fucking, the whole thing was messy. Anyways, all right, let's rate it, rank it. I think this should be pretty easy. Anthony, give me a number. And, yeah.
I'm going to go 4.5.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Oh, shit.
What am I ranking it?
Against the first movie. I think
it's better than the first.
Yeah, we all said the same thing. It's just a tiny bit, little bit. Rugs.
But they're the same movie. Yeah,
Woody Harrelson makes this better than the first movie. And that's basically it. I liked the kind of the Eddie stuff with Venom in the first movie more than in this one. Because it was like it was getting to know each other, and it was kind of like, it was new and novel. Now it was old hat, and it was just like the same jokes repeating over and over again, and they never grew. You'd figure that they'd progress as characters, so that anyhow. So that was my big problem with this movie, other than a million other ones. But the fact that Woody's in it makes it better because it's better villain, and that adds to a story. I would also say 4.5.
Oh shit! Okay. If you liked Woody in this movie, he is playing a one-dimensional version of a better character named Mickey from Natural Born Killers, directed by Oliver Stone. Watch that shit. Woody does that well, but in this one, he's just one-dimensional. Like, why was Cletus so mad at Eddie? Why did the Carnage?
I didn't even understand why he wanted to be, why he chose Eddie to be his friend. He's like, I just wanted you to be my friend.
Because he thought,
why?
I don't know.
Because why?
He felt.
Think about that
it
for a
was
second.
written
Because
so poorly.
Well,
think about that just real quick.
Yeah.
No, think about this real quick. He has no idea that Eddie Brock is Venom. The world doesn't know that Eddie Brock is Venom.
Nobody knows.
Eddie Brock, by the end of the first movie, or in the first movie, loses his fucking job. He's a loser reporter.
Yeah.
So why would Cletus Cassidy even know that Eddie Brock existed?
Well, so apparently he had been doing a series of articles, and they had several interviews with Cletus already.
No, but why would he? The initial interview, because the initial interview is literally the end of the tag scene at the end of Venom is him doing the initial interview.
Yeah, wow, that's right.
So why would he
he's
pick
like, he's
Eddie
only
Brock?
going to talk to you. Yeah, I don't understand. He's not a successful reporter.
He's nothing.
So the other funny part was, for a second, after he breaks the story and Venom gets him to figure out where all the bodies are buried, apparently his status goes up and he's like a hotshot reporter again. But you don't really get anything like that. The weird Easter egg is the Lion's jacket that he's wearing and the T-shirt underneath. If you notice, it's the exact same outfit Eddie Murphy wore in Beverly Hills Cop. It's very strange. I don't know why he did that. It's the same fucking thing. Shout out to that. Okay, Ruggs, you said 4.5, and it's better than the first movie.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be a little bit more generous. I will give it a 6. The first one's like a 5.5. This one is 6, marginally better, but they're essentially the same fucking shitty movie. Yes. Only now there's an important post-credit scene making this movie more important than it deserves. So there you go. Wow. All right, let's do some news from the nation.
It's time for news from the nation.
It's time for news from the nation.
It stinks. It stinks. It stinks.
We had some comments about this movie. I posted a spoiler thread on Jock and Nerd Nation. So definitely join to spoil shit right as it comes out in that thread. Wade Wilson, old Deadpool himself, checking in. He says, spoiler, the first one sucked. This one is going to suck. And I don't even think he had seen the movie, but he nailed it. So it's amazing. John Bellotti Jr., our admin of the Facebook group, says, I think Carnage is in this one. He would be correct. Jose Ibarra says, this film has Regal $5 Tuesday written all over it. I'll check back in on Tuesday. Don't pay more than $5 for this movie. Jose Joel Cazares says this movie is 5 out of 10 at best, but that mid-credit scene, though, it's happening.
Geek boner.
Best part of the movie. Blake Braden gives us a little bit of his theater experience. Also, he says, theater was full. Pretty sure no one actually gave a shit about this movie. They paid $9 to see a 2-minute end credit scene. LOL.
Oh, shit.
After seeing this movie, I'm convinced reviewers or Rotten Tomatoes are being lenient on films because they want ratings to be higher so people will go back to the theaters. This movie shouldn't sniff 25%.
Absolutely.
On the Rotten Tomatoes. Glenn Smith just wrote, fuck this guy. It's the best line. Ricky Martinez says, Woody and Naomi's dialogue was horrible. Movie so bad, even Anthony won't shove it up his ass.
I stick it up my asshole.
No, he won't. He won't. See, that's where I was going to play that clip. It's perfectly teed up there. Jamie Robinson, who is Mr. Throwback Thursday on the Mr. Throwback Thursday podcast. They talk about old school hip hop. Great show. He goes, look, it's a Sony film. If you're going in expecting an MCU quality film, you should slap yourself. That being said, it was entertaining in parts and boring in others, just like any Captain America film.
Oh, shit.
Whoa. I have Regal Unlimited, so I didn't pay to see it, but at the end of the film, I was more entertained than bored. Plus, Tom Hardy is a Czarface fan and called ESO directly to get them to do 2 songs for the film. So that is a bonus in my book. So Czarface is this rapper he turned me on to. He's actually pretty cool, like current rapper. And they do have a song called, what's this called? The Good Guys, Bad Guys. And today's special, it's streaming on Spotify. And yeah, apparently Eminem's doing, I haven't heard the Eminem track. I don't know if it's out
played
yet.
at the credits.
Oh, that was the end credit song?
Yeah.
It's not bad. It wasn't bad.
I'm surprised Eminem is so looped in with Venom.
I don't know. He must really love fucking Venom. He did one for the first movie. And speaking of Eminem, how about that fucking Super Bowl fucking lineup? This is a show right here. Now you're talking.
Yeah, I'm sure you're pretty happy, right?
Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, Eminem, Mary J. Blige, Kendrick Lamar. Did I miss anybody?
Kendrick Lamar, too?
Yeah, and Kendrick Lamar. But I can't wait for this. This is amazing. My only question is, none of them have put out music in a while. What the fuck are they promoting? Is it just going to be medleys? Is Eminem going to do the Venom song?
No, don't do the Venom song. Do all the greatest hits.
Yes, if you do the greatest hits, it'd be oh my God. Geek Boner. I can't wait for that. That's fucking dope.
Yeah, I'm actually very surprised, not to take this too off track, that the NFL, because they've, for a while, they've been going with like very conservative artists. Although 2 years ago, they did J-Lo and Shakira, which was a little different for them.
They did Beyonce.
Yeah, they did Beyonce. You're right. It was right after. Actually, I'm thinking about the time right after Janet Jackson.
The Janet Jackson Timberlake.
They did like a tour of like really old band, like U2. I was like, oh my God, these halftime shows are really
like,
bad.
We can't have any boobs
Well, they're
popping
kind
out.
of pulling at the old timers here. I mean, it's
What's in
Snoop
LA?
And
the Super Bowl's in LA this year.
Yeah.
So you're doing a West Coast thing.
Oh, I get it.
It's like Snoop and Dr. Dre are like the kings of the West Coast.
Yeah, absolutely. And Eminem's one of the guys, but
he's not from the West Coast. But
he's not from the West Coast. He found him. Thing is, they're like, Snoop hasn't done music in a while. He wasn't even. I don't even think he's making music. They're getting older. You know, M's older.
They're all old. I mean, Snoop Dogg's probably in his 50s.
Snoop's doing cameos.
Yeah, he's doing cameo videos. I would have been more impressed if they had these fuckers in like the fucking early 90s when
there's no chance.
I know they never would have done that, right?
We need a Snoop Dogg cameo if anybody wants.
I mean, is Snoop gonna show up in like weed medallions? That'd be awesome. Oh, if anybody wants to buy us a Snoop Dogg cameo, yes, absolutely.
Oh shit,
line that up. Anyways, I'm excited for that, and that should be fun. Not to sidetrack. Finally, what are we watching? Anthony, did you watch anything else besides the Venom?
I'm thinking about watching Squid Game.
Oh, you're thinking about it. Okay, okay.
There
That's
you go.
good.
Yeah.
You're getting there. I'm glad you're thinking about it. I think you should. More people are talking about it.
So that's what I got.
Okay, Ruggs, you watched anything?
Well, I heard that Squid Game was good, but I didn't want to watch it, so I watched instead the Octopus Game.
What is that?
No,
that's from North Korea. It's very dark.
So funny that I watched a shitty movie this week in the theater. You know, I watch shitty movies on purpose all the time, but these are shitty movies that cost nothing, and the only redeeming quality is there might be some martial arts in them. So I watched a movie called Accident Man, and it's about a assassin who makes every killing looks like an accident. Only some shenanigans are going on with the network of assassins that he works with, and all of a sudden they target somebody that his girlfriend, and so he goes on like a killing spree and kills the whole assassins club that he's in.
Oh God, this is a Scott Adkins movie.
Yeah, Scott Adkins is in it.
He wrote it too.
And he wrote it and he's in it, and it's got some pretty decent fighting in it.
It's based on a comic book.
Yeah. And I enjoyed it more than Venom, even though it was just probably just as horrible in every single. Like the character at least, did things that made sense to a degree.
Ray Stevenson is in this too.
Yes,
as Big Ray.
Ray Stevenson, Ray Park.
Oh, Ray Park's in this too. Oh, so there's got to be some good fight scenes.
Yeah, there's some, and the guy who played Spawn
Michael J. White is in this. Okay,
Jesus
what
Christ,
is
it's
this
like all the B level
actors.
Yeah.
What is this on, Ruggs?
What the fuck is it on? I think I watched it on Prime.
Amazon? Yeah, it's on Prime Video. Accident Man on Prime Video. Oh, I might have to check this out.
It was on Netflix a while back, but I never thought to watch it.
It's like all the straight to DVD actors.
Yes, all in one.
I love those movies. Those are the movies that I watch. Like, if I want to watch a brainless movie, because number one, I got no skin in the game. I know what to expect. It's gonna be dog shit, and then every once in a while,
you get a gem.
There's some entertaining fighting
Yeah.
where they don't cut away from like everything, where the stunt people actually fucking get hit and stuff. And I'm like, I like that.
Oh.
So yeah,
I might check that out. All right, Accident Man. I did finally finish Squid Game. This show was so good. I was trying. I'm not gonna give any spoilers. I was trying to like savor it and watch 1 or 2 episodes a day, and really. I would recommend that's the best way to do it because it's so dark, like, and you kind of want to sit with it. Fucking crazy things happen. It was great. The ending is weird. I may have to go back and watch the last episode again, but there's moments that are just gut punches in this, and there's a brown guy in it. I failed to mention there's a Pakistani character speaking Urdu in Korea. I was like, oh shit, there's a brown guy. I love this show. Very good. It's still highly recommended. I don't want to spoil anything. I need both of you to watch it, and we can talk about it because there's so much.
One of the most popular things Netflix has ever done.
Yeah, they're saying globally, this is like the biggest views they're getting globally.
Wow.
And it's a boon for Korean stuff. People are paying attention.
Yeah, I might eventually check it out.
I've been meaning to get at this. You know, it sounds like a Chan-wook Park like series, like something that he would have done. But
it's take your time; it's worth it. I would love to review it once everybody's watched.
All right, cool. All right. I'm going to watch it. I just haven't had time.
And then I did manage to squeeze in a viewing of the movie Many Saints of Newark.
Oh,
that's also on my list.
Released on HBO Max. This, of course, is the prequel Sopranos movie.
How was it?
So it's okay. I will tell you this. If you've seen all the 6 seasons of Sopranos, you will get a lot out of this. There's actually like huge spoilers in the beginning if you haven't seen the show, which I was like, whoa, they're just gonna okay. But it's like a decent extended episode of The Sopranos. So this one, Christopher Moltisanti, who was Chris on the show, played by Michael Imperioli. It's about his dad, Dickie Moltisanti, and in The Sopranos, you hear Tony and Christopher and the rest of the crew talk fondly of Dickie Moltisanti. It's a dude Tony looked up to. It was his uncle, like not quote unquote uncle. So it's about him and his dad, Hollywood Dick Moltisanti, played by Ray Liotta, who is great. And you got young versions of everybody, fucking Big Pussy, Silvio, Paulie Walnuts. They got young and a teenage Tony Soprano. I will say the plus good parts of this is it gives you what made Sopranos great. There's fucking shocking deaths and violence. There's the whole thing with the Kumars and the mistress and the girlfriend. That's always interesting. And there's mafia shenanigans and fucked up things.
Is there the strip club?
There's no strip club, but you're rooting for these characters who are fucking sociopaths, and they're like your leads. They're your protagonists. John Bernthal plays Tony's dad, which is great. It's great to kind of finally meet him because Tony talked about him a lot, and he was out of his life because he was in jail. There's a young Junior Soprano. The weird thing is it really doesn't fill in why Tony Soprano eventually turns to the life, because in the movie, he's kind of fighting against it the whole time. He doesn't want to have anything to do with it. He does a couple of things, but he kind of remains innocent, and you don't really get a sense of what made him. It's just he was living there, and it was the life. And so, but if you watch The Sopranos, I think you will dig the backstory. Basically,
I got to go back and watch the whole.
You know what? You don't. I didn't, and I remembered enough that it was fine. That you watch it, you're like, oh, that's that fucking guy. I had to look up a couple of people because there's even a teenage Carmela in there real briefly.
What's your favorite episode of Sopranos?
Okay, my favorite episode has to be, and this is kind of spoilery.
Spoiler alert.
Joey Pantoliano.
I was about to say the same one.
What does he play? What's the character?
Oh, I don't fucking remember his name.
He plays a character who is a great kind of foil to Tony Soprano.
Yeah.
You love him. You hate him. Anyways, the episode where he gets killed.
Yes, I was going to say that.
Tony Soprano is one of the most organic killing gangster scenes you're ever going to watch. When it starts, you do not think this is going to happen. You don't see this coming, but when it happens, it's perfectly done. It makes perfect sense.
Was he the one that was dating his sister?
Janice? I think, yes. He was dating Janice, and his name was
Oh my God! So you know the girl, Adia Turturro.
Yes, Aida Turturro playing Janice.
She was in an episode of What We Do in the Shadows, and I didn't even recognize her. She was skinny.
Oh,
she was old and skinny.
Really?
And she looked skinny.
Ralph Cifaretto was the character Joey Pants played. Ralph Cifaretto, great character.
Ralphie. Yeah, Ralph.
And you know what? I even love the ending, the abrupt, crazy ending, because you could still talk about that ending the way.
I like the one in the Pine Barrens too.
Oh, Pine Barrens was a fantastic episode. One more note about this movie: the last shot of the movie is very weird, and I don't know why David Chase did this. I'll just leave it at that. It's kind of.
So you thought it was good?
It was good. It's good if you
scale of 1 to 10.
It's like a 7. You watch The Sopranos, 7.5. You'll like it. It could have been better, but it was like it didn't blow me away. It wasn't like the best episode of Sopranos, but it's up there with like the really good episodes of Sopranos.
Did you ever watch Lilyhammer?
No, that's Steven Van Zant's other show. Is he a mobster in that show too?
Yeah, he's a mobster that hides in like Lilyhammer in fucking Norway or some shit.
Yeah, he's hiding out.
And he's hiding out, and he just starts a whole crime ring in Norway.
Dude, I have this guy at work from a convention in Vegas got me a signed copy of this cigar magazine signed by Steve Sharippa, who played Bobby Bacala. And it says, to Imran, Bobby Bacala, Steve Sharippa. I have that somewhere. I should pull that out. I was like, oh, look at this. The hilarious thing is the guy playing Silvio, the young Silvio, he's walking around with his head just crooked to the side the whole time. Like fucking Steven Van Zandt, and he's got a toupee on. It's kind of funny. I think if you like The Sopranos, you got to watch this. It's backstory. It's all about Dickie Moltisanti and what Tony and these guys saw growing up. The fucking insane, sociopathic, psychopathic violence you see growing up. And there's a race riot. It takes place in the 60s. It's some fucking crazy shit. So,
wow, I gotta watch it.
All right, we'll finish up out this week, fellas. If you did not get to see Black Widow, or you want to watch it again and you don't want to pay for it, it will be back on Disney Plus, free for subscribers this week, October 6th. I'd watch it again. Would you guys watch it again?
I've seen it twice, so I don't know if I'll watch it again.
I did watch it twice, but it's been a while. And
I only seen it once, but I don't need to watch it again.
By the way, quick update. Did you hear about the lawsuit?
Oh, they settled, right?
Yes, they did.
And they settled, and they were like, they're basically said we're open to working with her again.
Oh my God, everybody's cool. She got an additional, from reports, excess of an additional $40 million.
Oh shit! Holy crap!
It says it won't be paid in one lump sum. She had already gotten paid $20 million for the movie. Also, yes, they are pals again. They're working. She's working on their next theme park ride turned movie, which is Tower of Terror, because Disney is going to take every ride they have and turn them into movie franchises. They already got. Is there one Jungle Cruise? Yeah, there's one Jungle Cruise.
They got to do a Space Mountain one.
They're going to do it. Every ride is going to be a movie.
And Ric Flair's got to be in it.
Oh, woo.
Yeah, he's got a line about taking women to Space Mountain. I don't know.
Oh,
if it's
really?
Yeah.
Yes.
He's something along the lines of like I'll hop aboard Space Mountain, and it's like about his dick.
Whoa. The quote is, hold on. Let me see. I can pull this up. Hold on. Right here. Hold on.
Girls, I'm going to be available anywhere you see my name on the marquee, and you can ride Space Mountain all night long. Moreno, if you're 18 years old or over.
Woo. Oh, you got to put the age limit in there. Holy fuck. Shit. That was amazing.
Yeah,
that was amazing.
He's got to be in the movie. He'll probably be dead by then.
Space Mountain all night long. Only if you're 18 and above. What the fuck? Holy shit. That's
fuck?
I'm glad you shared that. Yeah,
that's the only ride I can think of from with the Space Mountain ride. There's the Epcot ride.
There's lots of fucking shitty rides nobody remembers.
Tower of Terror, I remember.
Pirates of the Caribbean was a ride. Jungle Cruise was a ride.
Yeah.
The Haunted House, they did that with Eddie Murphy. That was a ride.
Holy shit.
They're going to turn every ride into a fucking movie and make billions of dollars. And
Epcot, the ride.
Oh, have you ever been on the Epcot ride? That's the most boring ride
it
you'll
is
ever
kind
be
of
on.
boring. I thought it would be more exciting inside
it's just
that
a history tour.
Yo, I love Captain EO, the Michael Jackson movie. Oh, in 3D. That shit was dope.
I think I missed that one.
I think it had come down because of things,
Yeah, yeah.
But
I don't think they want to associate with Michael Jackson.
It was there. It was amazing. It was, I think it was directed by John Landis or James Cameron or somebody crazy directed that movie. Anyways, ScarJo says, quote, I am happy to have resolved our differences with Disney. I'm incredibly proud of the work we've done together. I look forward to continuing collaboration years to come, blah, 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 blah. They're all fucking friends. They cut her a check. That's what we thought was going to happen.
Fuck you, pay me.
So she got 40 million, which is close to what the 50 million she said she lost. I don't know. So that's done. Moving on. Anyways, that's the show. Ruggs, where can the listener find you online?
Oh. Besides, you can find me on Twitter. There's something besides my OnlyFans page. I will be on Twitter at ReallyRugBoy. So come sign up and follow. Is that what people do?
Smash that like button. Subscribe. No, don't do that. You got to subscribe. Smash that subscribe. Stay subscribed, listener. Check the show notes. Visit our website, jockandnerd.com. Bunch of things to do over there. All the links. Share the show. That's the most important thing. Tweet it out. Text it to your friends. Spread the geekery. Thanks for listening to the Jock and Nerd podcast. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the Jock.
And he's the Nerd.
We'll peep you next time.
I really don't give a shit.
It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's really good.
I stick it up my asshole.
Stick it up my asshole.
Jock and Nerd.
I knew it was coming.